Good evening, everyone. Welcome to MBA Karo. I'm sure you must be preparing for NMAT 2023, and the examination starts from 10th of October. So, here I am with this series exclusively for NMAT 2023, in which I'm going to cover the most important topics, the ones which are uh, going to be asked in NMAT, and you won't find those topics being asked in other examinations. Like data sufficiency is one such topic. Because when you prepare for CAT and other examinations, okay, you don't see data sufficiency in many of the examinations. So in this, we are going to cover what is data sufficiency, how to solve these questions, and this is one of the topics which is asked in the quant section of NMAT and has four questions. So you will get four questions from it in the examinations. Okay, and if you know how to solve these questions, you can score 4 on 4, and uh, like it does not take more time to solve questions than people think, because they think कि इसमें actually solve करना पड़ता है. Okay, but that is not the case. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get the best and the most relevant content for all MBA entrance examinations. Okay, and let's now begin without wasting any time. So the first thing is there are certain rules. Okay, you should know these rules, and if you know these rules, that helps you solve questions fast. First, and the very important rule is you are not required to find the exact answer. What you do generally in quant questions is you solve and find the answers, isn't it? Like जैसे आपको कोई भी प्रॉब्लम देता हूँ, लेटर से मैं आपको देता हूँ इतना कॉस्ट प्राइस है, इतना परसेंट मार्कअप है, इतना परसेंट डिस्काउंट है, सेलिंग प्राइस निकालो. So you try to solve the questions. Okay, so the very important rule is you are not required to find the answer. You have to tell that can you answer this question using the statement or not. Say for example, if I ask you what is the value of x, so you will be solving this, right? Like if it was not a data sufficiency question, you will do it like this: 1750 upon x plus 1 by 5 equal to 11 by 20. You will take 1 by 5 this side and make it negative, and then you will calculate this and then find the value of x. Okay, that's how we solve questions. But in data sufficiency, we are not supposed to solve. Okay, we just have to tell can we find the value of x. So can you find the value of x? Yes, you will get an equation. You have one variable, one equation, you can find the value of x. Similarly, from this also you can find the value of x. So when you have one variable and one equation, you can find the value of that variable. For two variables you need two equations, for three you will need three, and so on. Okay, so we can find the value. So we are not supposed to find the exact answer. So if it says that what is the value of x, you do not have to find the value of x, you have to tell can you find the value of x or not. Next rule is from a single statement the answer should be unique. Let us say you are getting a quadratic equation. So quadratic equation can have two answers. So that statement will not give you an answer because you are getting different values. So for example, if I say a square is 64, then a is 8 or minus 8. I cannot use this statement to tell the answer because there are two possible answers. And the rule says the answer must be unique. ठीक है, तो अगर आंसर यूनिक नहीं आता, you do not mark that this statement is sufficient. But from this I can tell a is 8, so I can answer using this statement, but using this statement we cannot answer the question. Okay, next is if there are two different statements. Now some people think that a question is wrong. This is a rule. Since we do not have to find the answer, we just have to tell whether we can find the answer or not. Okay, so if you are getting two different answers from two different statements, that is acceptable. Some students say कि question गलत आया था क्योंकि दोनों में अलग आंसर आ रहे थे. Like if you calculate this question, this value and this value, you should be getting different answers. Okay, so even if there are two different answers, that is acceptable. Okay, two different statements can have two different answers. but answer should be unique. Like you should be able to find an answer. It should not be that cannot be determined. Okay. Then the next rule says that there are some questions which have is or are as the starting. Okay. So the answer of these questions should be yes or no. Okay. So if I say that is the cost price of the television more than 8,000, so answer will be either yes or no. Now, at times the question answer comes as no. Okay, so student thinking like the answer is no, the answer is cannot be determined. No. See, the television is sold at a profit of 20%. So profit of 20% means 120% of cost price, 120% or 6 by 5 times of cost, which is 9,000. So cost will be 9,000 ka 5 by 6 or 7,500. Okay. Now the question is asking, is it more than 8,000? We are getting 7,500. The answer is no. Okay. So that does not mean that you cannot find the answer. You can tell the answer. What is the question asking? The question is asking, is the cost price less than more than 8,000? It can be less also, it can be more also. So you have to tell, can you answer this question? Okay. What should be your answer to such questions? Yes or no? So you just have to tell, are you able to answer yes or no based on that data? You are not supposed to, again as I said, that you are not supposed to calculate in most of the cases. So yes, we can answer this question. So this statement can give us the answer. Similarly, in this case, marked price is given, okay, discount is given. So marked price and discount is given, so you can find the selling price. Okay, profit is also given. So selling price minus profit is cost price. So we can find the cost price using this. Okay, so if we can find the cost price, we can answer this question. It can be yes or it can be no, does not matter. Our purpose is to find whether can we answer this question. Okay, what is the answer? That is not the पॉइंट है ओके सो आंसर यस भी हो सकता है नो भी हो सकता है इक्वल टू भी हो सकता है ठीक है इट डज नॉट मैटर now let us apply these in questions okay so these are the rules now we will solve some examples using these rules and we will also solve some tricky questions and see that how many can you answer so please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends who are preparing for NMAT. So there are two statements. Acha, let me tell you one more thing that there will be five options. First option says one alone. Second statement says two alone. Third says that either, then not sufficient and together sufficient. Okay. So one alone is sufficient means you can answer from one but not from two. Second option means that you can answer from two. This is option A. Okay, you can answer from one, but you cannot answer from two. Second option, so they can be in any order. Okay, the options can be shuffled also. So C means that you can answer from first also, or you can answer from second also. Okay, so not sufficient means if you add both these statements, then also you do not get the answer. And this means that you add one and two and you get the answer. So these are the five options that you will have in the exam. Clocks and calendars, not much important for NMAT. It is tested in Snap though. So today I created one video that what are the topics which are relevant for NMAT. NMAT primarily it is your critical reasoning which is very important. Okay, so let us see this question. It says the sum of money becomes 4 times in 20 years at 15% per annum simple interest. Okay, we have to find the principal amount. Now we are given 4 times in 20 years at 15%. Okay, so can we answer from this? See, we are saying that it becomes 4 times in 20 years. So if the principal is P, okay, rate is given, time is given, right? So you can find the interest and you can find the amount also, right? But can we find the, like, see, what will be SI? You don't have to solve, you just have to see this. SI is PRT by 100, okay, and amount is P plus SI. We are given, we are not given P, we are given, like in the, we are assuming it to be P. Okay, R into T by 100 we will get. Can we get the principal amount from this? We are not given the final amount. Okay, so we cannot answer from this statement. Okay, so let us see the second one. It says sum of money at simple interest amounts to rupees 13,340 in 3 years and to 14,500 in 5 years. Okay, so we are given that amount after 3 years and amount after 5 years. So let us think that can we answer the question based on it. Now if you see this, okay, 13,340, this is the amount after 3 years. So amount after 3 years means principal plus 3 years of interest, isn't it? Amount, simple interest is constant every year. So principal plus 3 years of interest is given. Then we have principal plus 5 years of interest that is given to us. Okay, which is, this is 13,340 and this is 14,500. You are not supposed to calculate. I am writing this to show, but you are not supposed to calculate anything in this. Now, if I subtract equation 1 from equation 2, okay, so I will get the value of I because P had jaga. So basically, we have two variables P and I, and there are two equations. So if there are two variables and two equations, we can solve the equation that we know, right? If there is a linear equation and it has two variables, so we need two equations. So we can solve using this. You are not supposed to calculate the principal. You have to tell that whether it is sufficient. Yes, we can answer using this statement. Okay, so the answer is option B. Statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer, but we cannot answer from the first statement because we might get multiple values for P. Okay, so you should have a unique answer, right? Okay, next is the product of x and y greater than 90? And the options are sum of x and y is greater than 90. Each of the variables is greater than 2. NMAT mock. So you have to speed up in NMAT, right? Say there is no negative marking. Okay, but try to achieve as many questions as possible. So in case at some places you find the question is quite lengthy, okay, you can just like guess in some of the questions and move ahead. Anyway, in mocks, it won't matter much because they won't give you the true picture, but in the actual examination, we'll have to do that way. Yes, I will take some session on algebra as well. See, all whatever mocks you get in the market, except I can say that maybe the big institutes like Career Launcher, Time, and all, they might have adaptive mocks that I cannot say, but definitely other institutes will not have adaptive mocks. Okay, it is not possible to create because you need data of lakhs of students. Okay, and you do not know the marking scheme of NMAT. Okay, so NMAT, they do not tell how it is, how the questions are marked. So if someone claims that they have adaptive mocks, that is a fake claim. Okay, and adaptive means that the questions are not set before. Okay, they can throw random questions at you. That what actually happens in NMAT. But here, like whoever is creating mocks, they will have set of questions beforehand. So yes, my NMAT mocks are non-adaptive. I do not make any false claims. And yes, but I can guarantee you that the kind of questions you get in examination, you will get to practice those in the mocks. So the only adaptive mocks you can find is the official mock they have. So product of x and y greater than 90. Okay. So it says that the product of x and y is greater than 90. Okay. Now sum of x and y is greater than 90. Now if sum is greater than 90, we might have multiple numbers. Okay. So we can have we can have both numbers greater than 90. Okay. We can have like 45 and 46. We can have 60 and 50. We can have multiple numbers. Okay. So can we tell the product is greater than 90? Very likely that you might say that the answer may be, you might say that कि आंसर की फर्स्ट से निकल जाएगा. ठीक है. But let us think like this, that suppose the numbers are -10 and -9. ठीक है. So positive numbers तो दिए नहीं है, it can be negative numbers also, right? Now the sum is not greater than 90. Okay. So or let's say it says that sum is greater than 90, that is given to us. Okay. So let us take 1 and 90. Okay, we have to tell that whether the product is greater than 90. So if we take any numbers like 45, 46, 60 and 50, 30 and 80, any such numbers, in all cases we are getting product greater than 90. But if we take 1 and 90, so sum to greater than 90, but product is not greater than 90. So even if we have one case, we cannot choose as the answer. Okay, so we cannot say that one is sufficient to answer the question, because it should be for all cases, right? For all values we should have the product greater than 90, but in this case the product is not greater than 90. Okay. Now second condition is each of the variables is greater than 2. Okay. Product, this, first check this statement alone, then check this statement alone. Two variables greater than 2, like if you take 3 and 5, product greater than 90, no. But if we take 10 and 15, product greater than 90, yes. So we cannot tell using this statement also. Yeah, in some cases the product is less, in some cases it is more. So in every case it should be greater than 90, then only we can say that yes, it is definitely true. Now we will combine these two. So one alone से नहीं होगा, two alone से नहीं होगा, we will combine these two. Now when we say that sum of x and y is greater than 90, so we have multiple possibilities. We saw that these, so we will get too many cases, infinite cases, right? This is also greater than 90, this is also greater than 90. We have to tell whether the product is greater than 90. Now each of the variables is greater than 2. So we cannot accept this case. Okay. So if we do not accept this case, then whatever case we get, like if we take 2 and 89, okay. Now this also product is greater than 90. So if we combine both these, we can answer this question. So from one alone we cannot answer, because we were getting one special case wherein the sum product was not greater than 90. So we cannot say that whether the product is greater than 90 or not. Okay, it was coming equal. So it has to come greater than 90, then only we can say that yes, it is greater than 90. But when we combine these two statements, we get the answer yes, the product will be greater than 90. But from one any statement alone, we cannot tell. Okay, so let's see the next question. It says that a man distributed 73 chocolates to his children. How many of his children are older than 5 years? So he has 73 chocolates, and the children who are older than 5 years, they get 5 chocolates, and a child 5 years or younger gets 6 chocolates. So we have to tell that which statement can give us the answer, or do we need to combine the statements. So can we answer from any of the statements, or do we need to combine, or what will be the result in this scenario? Now, if you see the first statement, it says a child older than 5 gets 5 chocolates. Okay. So, if a child is getting 5 chocolates, so if there is one child, so we can get multiple possibilities. Okay. So, let us see that if we can get unique possibilities. So, 73, if there is one child, then the remaining chocolates will be 68. So we cannot say that how many children are older than 5 years, because these are remaining chocolates. Okay, how, in what way we are distributing, we cannot tell. Okay, so if one is getting more than five, like five, if they get 10, then remaining 63 कैसे distribute हो रही है, that we do not know. Okay, so we cannot tell using this statement alone. Yeah, remaining कैसे distribute होंगी, that we cannot tell. Okay, but if we have, let us say we are just taking the second statement. It says a child 5 years or younger gets 6 chocolates. Same case यहाँ पे बनेगा. Like if a child is getting 6 chocolates, so we do not know where are the rest of the chocolates going. Okay, so then remaining 61. So we do not know the number of children. Okay, so we cannot tell using this statement also. Now let us combine these two statements. Okay, if we combine these two statements, it says a child older than 5 gets 5 chocolates. So let us say there are X children who are greater than 5 years, and Y children uh, who are less than or equal to 5 years. Okay, so they will get 5 chocolates each, 5x, and this is 6 chocolates each. So 5x plus 6y is equal to 73. So when we combine both, we get this equation. Right, now the thing is that can we solve this equation? There are two variables and we have only one equation. Okay, so what we assume that for two variables we need two equations. But if the value is less, can we solve this equation? Let us think of this. If we take now 73, okay, so 73, like if we the number, if it's a multiple of 5, so it can end in 5 or 0. See, numbers are very important for NMAT. Okay, if you end in 5, so something number will end in 8, or if something is ending in 0, the number should end in 3. Okay, so we cannot get a number ending in 3 as a multiple of 6. ठीक है, इसका एंडिंग या तो 5 होगा और इसका 8 होना चाहिए. ठीक है, तब 73 बनेगा. और इफ वी टेक दिस एज 0, this should end in 3, but 6 का multiple है तो 3 में end नहीं हो सकता. So this is not possible. So we have some number ending in 5 and some number ending in 8. So let us think of numbers that end in 8 and are multiple of 6. Okay, अब 6 के multiples देखो, 6 की क्या multiples हो सकते हैं? 18 हो सकता है. ठीक है, then we can have 48 which is ending in 8. So we can have 55 plus 18, 25 plus 48. Two possibilities. Now, can we answer this question? that how many children are, see, we are getting two solutions. In this case we are getting two solutions. So child older than 5 years, it can be 55, like 5x, we are saying x children, right? So x can be 11 or it can be 5. We cannot answer this question. So they are not sufficient to answer this question, because we have two variables and only one equation. In order to solve two variables we need two equations. Okay, so we cannot answer from this statement. A water tank has two pipes attached to it. Pipes P and Q supply water at the rate of 6 and 5 liters per minute, respectively. But due to a leakage, the tank takes longer to fill. What is the capacity of the tank? Okay, so we have two pipes, pipe P, Q, and then we have a leakage also. So three things are working. We have to tell the capacity of the tank. Okay, so use first statement, two statements, and combined. So we have the condition that, like, there are two pipes P and Q. They supply at the rate of 6 and 5 liters per minute. Now, if both pipes are opened simultaneously, tank would be full in 1 hour 12 minutes. Okay, so capacity is basically fill rate into time. Okay, now when we consider the first equation, okay, there are three pipes, one is P, one is Q, and there is a leak also. Okay, so we know from first statement, we know the fill rate of P, we know the fill rate of Q, right? And we know the time also, but do we know the rate of L? That we do not know, isn't it? See, you are not supposed to calculate the answer, you just have to see that whether all data is given. So fill rate into time. So fill rate of P is known, P कितने liters per minute भर रहा है, and Q how much is it filling per minute. But we do not know about leak, so we cannot tell using this statement. Okay, now second says the drain pipe leaks at the rate of 3 liters per minute. Okay, now if we consider the second one, we know fill rate of P because it is already given, we know fill rate of Q, it is already given, we know the fill rate of L, or basically the leakage rate of L, so minus L कर देंगे. Okay, but we do not know the time. No, we do not know. Okay, so we cannot answer using the second statement also. So you have to check statements first independently. Like we checked first, then we checked second. Now we will combine these two. So combining क्या हो जाएगा? So when we combine these two statements, we know all three things. We know the fill rate of, so 1 plus 2 combine करेंगे. So we know the fill rate of P, we know the fill rate of Q, we know the rate at which leak is working and the time also. So this into this, P plus Q minus L into T will give us the capacity. So we can find the capacity. As I said again, you are not supposed to calculate the capacity. Okay, it asks what is the capacity. You do not have to calculate. You just have to look at the data and tell, can you calculate the answer? Yes, we can calculate. Now whatever is the capacity, that does not matter. So all statements together are, both statements together are sufficient to answer the question. We cannot answer from one, we cannot answer from two, then we try to combine both the statements. So if you can get the answer, good. If you cannot, then the answer becomes that the data is not sufficient to answer the question. Okay, all right, so let's move ahead. I hope you are enjoying this session, so please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Okay, so this topic is something which is crucial for nmat. Now, this is now see, data sufficiency, you need to know all concepts, right? For example, you can be asked questions based on number system. It can be from algebra, it can be from arithmetic. Okay, so in this video, I'm covering different kinds of questions. Now, this is based on algebra. Okay, it says that the question is a minus 5 square plus b minus 7 whole square greater than 9? Okay, so some sort of number system and algebra needed here. So we have to tell that, can we answer using any of these statements? So it says that b is less than 5. Okay, now the thing is, like, can we answer this question? So b less than 5, let us say if you take uh, b equal to 4. Okay, so less than 5, if you take 4, so what will happen? 4 minus 3 ka whole square is uh, 4 4 minus 7 का whole square is 9. ठीक है, now a की value we do not know, right? So if a is 5, let us say a is equal to 5, right? तो ये equal to 9 होगा. We cannot say it is greater than 9, isn't it? So from 1 we cannot tell, because if we, let us say, if we put a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 4, ठीक है, हम a की, हमें सिर्फ b की वैल्यू दी है ना. So a is equal to 5, b equal to 4, if we take, so it becomes 0 square plus 3 square which is equal to 9. ठीक है, greater than 9 तो नहीं है. But what if we take a is equal to 6 and b equal to 4? So in this case it becomes 1 square, that is 1, and this is 9 which is 10, which is greater than 9. तो एक केस में greater than 9 हो रहा है, एक केस में equal to 9 हो रहा है. ठीक है, so we are getting different answers. We should get a unique answer. Rule बताया था, you should get unique answer. We are not getting unique answer. So this means from this we cannot answer this question. Okay, now second statement says a greater than 8. Okay. So if we take a greater than 8, let us say you take any value. Let us say if you take a as 8.5. Okay. So if you take a is equal to 8.5, this is 8.5 minus 5 का whole square plus b कुछ भी होगा. Let's say b minus 7 का whole square is greater than 9. We have to tell whether it is greater or not. Now if this is greater than 8, so like if we have something which is greater than 3, okay, it is greater than 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. Okay, if this is greater than 8, 8 से थोड़ा बड़ा होगा, so it will be greater than 3. Okay, greater than 3 का कोई square कर दोगे, so it will be greater than 9. If you take any number, let's say if you are taking 8.5, ठीक है, बहुत बड़ा ले नहीं रहे, 10 नहीं ले रहे, 8.5 ही ले रहे हैं. So 10, 3.5 का whole square will be greater than 9. ठीक है, now this is already greater than 9. Now even if you take b as 7, ठीक है, if you take b as 7, then also it will be 0. So total will be greater than 9 only. Okay, so no matter whatever value you take for b, if a is greater than 8, it will be, the total will be greater than 9. So for every value of a greater than 9 we can definitely tell the answer. First वाले से नहीं निकल रहा था because we were getting equal to 9, also we were getting greater than 9, so we were not sure ki whether it is greater than 9. But when we have a greater than 8, so for any value of a greater than 8 we were getting the answer greater than 9. So statement 2 alone is sufficient to answer the question, but from first we cannot answer. Okay, all right, so let's try the next one. This is for boards and stream. So as I said that you need to have mastery of all topics. ठीक है, तो तभी आप आंसर कर पाओगे. आपको पता होना चाहिए बोर्ड्स एंड स्ट्रीम का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या होता है. ओके, एंड व्हाट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ, like in the previous case, numbers का concept, simple interest, compound interest, time and work. So data sufficiency is, you do not have to calculate, but you should know the concepts. अगर concepts पता हो, so you can answer those questions quite well. Okay, so try to answer this question, that find the time taken by the boat to cover 70 km upstream and 56 km downstream. So you would say that you should know the speeds, isn't it? जब तक speed पता नहीं होगी, you cannot find uh, the time taken, right? Distance आपको दिया है. In order to find time, you need distance and speed. Distance is given. Do we know the speed? Now यहाँ पे upstream and downstream is in the ratio 5:8. ठीक है. Now the speeds can be 5:8. The speeds can be 10:16. It can be 15:24. Or it can be anything, like it can be 2.5 and 4 also, 7.5 and 12 also, right? So there are multiple values possible. 5:8 में तो कोई भी number हो सकता है ना. When I say there are two numbers in the ratio 5:8, you can have any number of values. Okay, so can we answer from this? We cannot, because there can be many values. But what about the second statement? It says it covers 32 km downstream and 40 km upstream in 4 hours. Okay, 32 km downstream and 40 km upstream in 4 hours. Now the distance is given. Okay, do we know the speeds? Distance is given, time is given. So basically, you will say 32 upon x plus 40 upon y equals 4. Okay, suppose downstream speed is x and upstream speed is y. Right? So can you solve for x and y using this equation? And this is a tricky question. Now we cannot find the values of x and y, isn't it? Like if you see, there is one equation and there are two variables x and y. We cannot solve for x and y. But there is one interesting thing. Okay? If you observe carefully, तो कुछ कुछ ऐसे हो सकते हैं, कभी कभी ऐसे क्वेश्चन ट्रिकी आ सकते हैं. ठीक है, so sometimes the questions can get difficult. Okay, this is one such difficult question. So we cannot find x and y, so people might say कि इससे भी आंसर नहीं आएगा, and then try to combine. Okay, so they will say that speed is 5:8 and then calculate the values. But the thing is, if you see this data, right, हमें क्या निकालना है? हमें निकालना है upstream down is given as 56 और up दिया है 70. ठीक है, और हमें गिवन किस चीज का दिया है? 32 एंड 40 का. Now if you look closely, if you multiply this by 7 by 4 and this also by 7 by 4, okay, this is given to us. अगर हम दोनों को डिस्टेंस को 7 by 4 टाइम्स कर लें, so it becomes 56 and it becomes 70, isn't it? So if you observe these numbers, 56 kilometer downstream निकालना है, 70 kilometer upstream निकालना है. So if we multiply both the values by 7 and 7 by 4, we get these values. So 4 into 7 by 4 is the time taken. Okay, so this was a special case. Otherwise, we could not have solved, because you need two equations to solve for two variables x and y. But in this special case, if you observe carefully, you see that you can multiply by the same number and get this. Okay, so yes, we can get from 2 alone, right? So the answer is statement 2 alone is sufficient. So this is a tricky one. So it is like saying that I tell you that one apple plus two orange is 30 rupees. Okay. And then I say that find the cost of, now you will say that I cannot find the cost of apple and orange. But if I say that find the cost of 3 apple plus 6 oranges, आप कहोगे इसको 3 से मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं, आंसर आ जाएगा. Now whatever is the cost of apple and orange, we do not worry. So same principle here, that we can multiply by 7 by 4, because this will give us 56 kilometers and this will give us 70. That is what we need to calculate. So this was a tricky one. Okay. Okay, as I said that number system is also important. So एक question तो पक्का numbers based आएगा, divisibility, FCF, LCM या कुछ ऐसा आएगा. So we are given that R is an integer between 1 and 9 and P minus R is 2023. You have to find the value of R. So basically not find the value, you have to tell can you find the value of R from this. So just look at the value and tell that can you find the answer. R is a single digit number. P minus R is 2023. We have to tell what is the value of R. So if we are given that P is divisible by 6, okay? Now R is a small number, single digit, 1 to 9 के बीच में, okay? If P is divisible by 6, try to divide 2022 by 6. See, I told you, you do not have to solve, but at some cases you might have to solve the equation, okay? So 2023 को 6 से divide कर देते हैं. So we get 3, 3. We are getting one remainder. That means 2022 is divisible. Okay, but P is greater than 2023. Okay, so next number कौन सा divisible होगा? 228. P की वैल्यू क्या हो सकती है? इससे बड़ी होनी चाहिए 2023 से. It can be 2028 or 2034. ठीक है. So can we find the value of R? From this, the value of R should be, because P minus R is 2023. Okay. So from this, the value of R is coming as 5, and from this it is coming as 11, and you can get more such values. But can we find the unique value of R? What is the principle of data sufficiency there? That we should be able to get unique values, isn't it? So इसमें unique value आ रही है? Yes, because R तो between 1 and 9 है ना, so R cannot be 11. So we are getting a unique value from this statement. Okay. But that does not mean that this is the answer, because you might get answer from statement 2 also. Okay. So we are getting unique value from this. Now P is divisible by 5. If P is divisible 5, तो P की वैल्यू क्या हो सकती है? 2025 हो सकती है, 2030 हो सकती है, 2035 and all. So this gives us R as 2, this gives us R as 7, this is 12. So this gets rejected, higher values get rejected. Okay. Here we are getting two values. Okay. The principle says that you should get a unique answer. So from this we cannot get a unique answer because यहाँ पे हमारी दो values आ रही हैं. So a statement gives the answer only if it gives you unique values. So if it's a quadratic equation, you are getting two different roots. That is not the answer because you should be able to get a unique answer. From the second statement, we are not getting unique answer. But from first statement, we are getting unique answer. So statement 1 alone is sufficient to answer the question. But statement 2 alone is not sufficient. Okay, so testing of properties of numbers like divisibility, squares, etc., are used. Vidhi purchased some pens, pencils, and glue sticks from three different stationery shops. The selling price of an item was the same in all the shops. What is the selling price of a pencil? Okay, so we are given dealer A sold 8 glue sticks, 10 pens, and 16 pencils for rupees 418. Okay, dealer B sold 12 glue sticks, 15 pens, and 11 pencils for 588. Okay, so let us take it to two stationery shops क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमें दो ही के बारे में दिया है. So the question is, what is the selling price of a pencil? We are given two equations. Okay, from first we are getting 8 glue sticks, 10 pens, 16 pencils. Price is given, and for from the second one also we are given a price. So using which statement or statements can we answer this question? So find out using which statements can we answer this question or group of statements. So first statement says that, like, let us say the glue stick, the price is x, y, and z. So from first statement we will get the equation like this: 8x plus 10y plus 16z equals 418. Okay. So we cannot tell the value of z, isn't it? हम इससे z की वैल्यू नहीं निकाल पाएंगे, right? So 1 is not sufficient. From second we get an equation like this: 12x plus 15y plus 11z. We get 588. Now x, y, z, we cannot find the value of z using the second statement also. Okay, so what we will do? We shall combine these two statements, isn't it? So if one is not sufficient, two is not sufficient, then we try to combine them. Now, when we combine statements, we have two equations and three variables. So the general perception is, if there are n equations, we need if there are n variables, we need n equations. एक वेरिएबल के लिए एक इक्वेशन चाहिए होती है, दो वेरिएबल के लिए दो चाहिए होती है, तीन वेरिएबल तीन इक्वेशन. ठीक है. Here we have three variables. So ideally we should need three equations in order to find unique values of x, y, z. ठीक है. अगर हमें तीनों की वैल्यूज चाहिए, so we will need three equations. But हमें क्या चाहिए? What do we need? We need, देखो कुछ कुछ ऐसे क्वेश्चंस ट्रिकी होंगे. ठीक है. जैसे हमने एक पहले भी किया था कि like that person distributes chocolate in his children. Okay, so in that case we were not getting the answer because एक ही equation बननी थी. अगर छोटी values होती, we could have got unique answer also. Now if you see this, it is saying that selling price of a pencil, that is we have to find the value of z. Okay, so usually we will say that we need three equations, so we cannot find. But if you look at these values carefully, ठीक है, तो इसलिए careful observation is a must. So ऐसे हमने दो क्वेश्चन किए ट्रिकी वाले, एक वो अपस्ट्रीम डाउनस्ट्रीम वाला किया था, उसमें भी ऑब्जर्वेशन लगाना था. Here also you will have to observe. ठीक है, सो कुछ ऐसे ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन होते हैं एग्जाम में आ सकते हैं, ठीक है, जिसमें यू हैव टू ऑब्जर्व वेल. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल गेट दोस रॉन्ग बिकॉज दे हैव द परसेप्शन, क्योंकि उन्हें कहीं पढ़ा होता है तीन वेरिएबल है तो तीन इक्वेशन चाहिए होंगी. वी हैव टू सॉल्व फॉर z. अगर आप इस इक्वेशन को 3 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दो और इसे 2 से कर दो, सो यू विल गेट 24x plus 30y, and here also you will get 24x plus 30y. ठीक है, z 48z आ जाएगा and this will be 22z. Isn't it? Aren't we getting the values? So if we subtract this equation, you are not supposed to calculate. ये भी मैंने दिखा दिया. You're not supposed to calculate. Just observe that if we multiply this by 3, it becomes 24. It becomes 30. And if we multiply by 2, it becomes 24 and 30. तो अगर हम subtract कर देंगे, so x और y cancel हो जाएगा. We will get some value of z, and we will get some value here. So we can find for z, isn't it? So if we solve, like multiply the equations with the right variables, we can solve for z. हमें z निकालना है, right? We are not at all concerned what is x, what is y. See, whatever is the question asking, you have to answer accordingly. Like if it asks that what is the price of a glue stick, in that case we cannot answer. We will say that data is not sufficient. But here it is asking about pencil, and for pencil we can solve it. So both statements are necessary to answer the question. Okay, so using both we can get the result. Okay, here's the next one. It says x, y and z are three positive integers. Is x plus z divisible by 4? ये तो सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, यू शुड बी एबल टू आंसर इट. उसमें कोई ट्रिक नहीं है. One is either you have good understanding of number system. Even if you do not have, you can assume some values and solve for it. So one is like you can, like if you know this, that y minus x is 2, right? So 2 का difference, either they are both positive, the both odd or both even. But ये थोड़ा complicate होगा. Let's solve it in a simple way. ठीक है, y minus x is 2, right? So x plus z divisible by 4. So हम y और x की वैल्यू तो निकाल पाएंगे, but z की वैल्यू we can't tell. ठीक है, we are just dealing, first equation is only dealing with y and x, z का कोई mention ही नहीं हो रहा है, so we cannot answer. From second we say z minus y is 2, right? We do not have any mention of x because we have to deal with x plus z. Okay, so we cannot answer using this. Easy to eliminate. Okay, so 1 alone is not sufficient, 2 alone is not sufficient, either भी नहीं होगा. Okay, so we need to now combine these. Now when we combine this, it says y minus x equal to 2 and z minus y is 2. ठीक है, so z बड़ा है y से and y बड़ा है x से. ठीक है, so now the best way is to take some values. Okay, so let us put x equal to 1, 2, कुछ एक वैल्यू ट्राई कर लेते हैं. ठीक है, दो तीन वैल्यू में ट्राई कर लेते हैं. इफ इट कम्स देन दैट शुड बी द आंसर. ठीक है, x प्लस जेड कितना हो गया, 6 हो गया. x प्लस जेड 8 हो गया. इसमें डिविजिबल नहीं है. It's saying, is it divisible by 4? It is not divisible. In this case, it is divisible. So we cannot determine. So the answer is not sufficient to answer the question. Because in first case, it was not divisible. We should get a unique answer. Either it should not be divisible or either it should be divisible. Okay, so then that is the answer. So if you are getting, in one case you are getting divisible, in one case you are getting not divisible, then that is not the answer. Let us say अगर मैं यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन चेंज कर दूं थ्री पॉजिटिव ऑड इंटीजर्स, ठीक है, सो टेल मी व्हाट विल बी द आंसर इन दैट केस. If I change the question to three positive odd integers, so will the answer be, what will be the answer? So calculate for a couple of values and tell what will be the answer in this scenario. So take a few values for x, y, z and then tell the answer. So 135 तो हमने already calculate कर लिया. So x plus z हमें निकालना है ना, that was coming as 6. Now if we take another value that is 357, we are getting 10. Okay. So if we are taking 579, we are getting 14. So we tested with consecutive numbers. Like अगर हम pattern follow कर लेंगे 9, 7, 11 वाला, so this will give us 18. So we are seeing one pattern. Okay. So no matter whatever value you take, now whether x plus z is divisible by 4, no, the answer is it is not divisible. So उस case में answer बनता both statements are necessary to answer the question. If I change the question to that these are odd integers, in that scenario the answer would be option E. Both are necessary to answer because I told you the answer of the question can be yes or no. Okay? You have to tell can you answer the question. Answer question क्या पूछ रहा है? Is it divisible by 4? The answer can be yes or it can be no. So if we combine both, we can answer the question, isn't it? But वो case कब है जब both are odd integers. But the original question said these are simple integers, positive integers. Okay. So in one case it was divisible, in one case it was not divisible. So we could not answer the question. Okay. So that is the solution to this. Okay. So now this is a question on time, speed, distance. So this video will help you a lot. And you must have uh, like अगर ये 10-12 एग्जाम्पल इसमें से कुछ ट्रिकी भी थे कुछ सिंपल भी थे. Okay, so this would give you a good understanding of data sufficiency, and when you encounter these questions, you shall be able to solve them in the exam. So it says that there is a person who goes non-stop from Jaipur to Ajmer via Udaipur. Okay, so Jaipur to Ajmer via Udaipur. Via means something that comes in between. So पहले जयपुर से उदयपुर गया फिर उदयपुर से अजमेर गया. Okay. We are given the average speed for the entire journey was 40 kilometer per hour. Okay. यहाँ से यहाँ तक इसकी average speed 40 है. Now in time speed distance, you should know this particularly that कि average speed is not average of speeds. Like for example, if I give that speed is 60, speed is 50. Okay. Some people take is they divide by 2. No, that is not average speed. Average speed is basically total distance upon total time. Okay. So we cannot find average speed like by taking the values of the average of the two values. ठीक है, ये बहुत important चीज है. So that is why I told you in the beginning itself that for data sufficiency you need to first know the different concepts. ठीक है, आपको time speed distance आना चाहिए, time and work आना चाहिए, numbers and algebra etc. You should know. So let's try this. So this particular first statement says the distance from Udaipur to Ajmer is 0.3 times the distance from Jaipur to Udaipur. Okay. So if we take the first uh, uh, statement, it says the distance from Udaipur to Ajmer is 0.3 times. So basically let us say this distance is 10x and this distance is 3x. Okay, so can we answer using this? So what did I tell you? Average speed is total distance upon total time, right? Can we find the time from this? So it says, let's say the time taken from here to here is t1 and from here to here is t2, right? So 10x upon t1 plus 3x upon t2 is equal to 40. Can we get the answer using this? No, we cannot get, because t1 t2 हमें नहीं पता है. ठीक है. Now, if we take the second statement, okay, so now we will not consider this as 10x, 3x. It says the average speed from Udaipur to Ajmer was twice that of the average speed from Jaipur to Udaipur. Udaipur to Ajmer, the average speed is twice that of Jaipur to Udaipur. Suppose Jaipur to Udaipur, the speed is, uh, let's say 2s. Okay, this is speed. वो डिस्टेंस था जो अभी लिया था हमने. एंड उदयपुर टू अजमेर द स्पीड इज s, right? So average speed from Udaipur to Ajmer was twice and that of the average speed from Jaipur to Udaipur. Udaipur to Ajmer वाली twice है ना of this, so this will be 2s speed and Jaipur to Udaipur will be s as the speed. Okay, now can we find the average speed from this? Average speed is total distance upon total time. Okay, now total distance, can we uniquely find the total distance? See, this distance is, अगर हम ये वाला statement second statement use करते हैं, so it says this speed is s and time is t1 and this is 2s and time is t2. So this is the total distance. Total time is t1 plus t2, right? So Udaipur to Ajmer हमें निकालनी स्पीड, so we have to find 2s. So this is 40. ठीक है, ये हमारा फर्स्ट इक्वेशन से बना था, ये सेकंड से बना था. So from this we will get equation in t1 and t2. ठीक है, two variables t1 and t2 we cannot find using this statement alone also. ठीक है, so अगर ऐसे भी combine करेंगे we cannot get the answer. Now what we will do is the combination of these two. Okay, so this was a slightly difficult one, right? अगर आपको टाइम स्पीड डिस्टेंस समझ में आ रहा है, so maybe you can solve it like without even making equations, but to clarify I've made the equations. So इससे भी नहीं आया, इससे भी नहीं आया, right? When we combine, so we know that this is d, let's say this is 10x and this is 3x. ठीक, सो ये हमारा डिस्टेंस है, ये स्पीड है. सो टाइम कितना आ जाएगा? 10x अपॉन s. ठीक है, दिस इज t1 एंड t2 इज 3x अपॉन s एंड टोटल डिस्टेंस कितना हो जाएगा? 13x, right? So if you combine these two, this is the total distance 13x and this is 10s plus 3x upon, sorry, this will be 2s, यहाँ पे स्पीड 2s हो जाएगी. This equal to 40. ठीक है, ये हमें दिया हुआ है. Now when we solve, in the denominator you have x and x, मतलब ये कुछ like if you solve it, basically आपका कैसे बन जाएगा? 13x upon 20 plus 3, 23x and ये आ जाएगा 2s. So 2s will go upward, it becomes 40. ठीक है, सो x will cancel out, we can find the value of s. हमें s ही तो चाहिए. We need what is the average speed from Udaipur to Ajmer. We need to find the value of 2s, so we can get the value of 2s from this. So when we combine both statements, they can give us the answer. Okay, so ultimately the answer is, can we find the values? So from first we cannot find out because we did not know, we will not know the time. Second case also the time is not known. Third case, since the ratio of distance, the value of distances is known, so we can find the total distance at total time. So the last thing that you can do is make equations. ठीक है, solve नहीं भी करोगे, just make equations. So when we see this equation, we know that x cancel out हो जाएगा, s की value आ जाएगी. So we can find the average speed from Udaipur to Ajmer. Okay, so that will be if you combine both the statements, that is sufficient to answer the question. Okay. All right, so if you are preparing for NMAT and SNAP, right, there is a dedicated course for it, which includes live classes plus recordings. It includes the detailed preparation plan, including we have compiled special grammar rules because grammar is also important for both these exams. You get practice sheets for all topics. Okay, the exam specific topics are covered. Like as I said, that data sufficiency important. So whatever is the particular topics that we have covered in this. So you also get access to NMAT and SNAP mock. So if you wish to enroll in the course, you can check the link which is given in the description of this video. And if you're preparing for these exams and are looking for mock test which are exam relevant, again you can check out the links and you may enroll in them. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this class. You understood what is data sufficiency and were able to solve the questions. Okay, what is the approach that should be applied और कहाँ पे questions tricky हो सकते हैं, कहाँ पे आपको without solving the equations you get the result. Okay, so this must have been a helpful video, so please don't forget to like this video, and if someone asks where to study data sufficiency from, you can recommend this video and this channel. Okay, so there are three questions for you to answer in the comments of this video. Just numbering karna bhul gaya, 1 2 3 other three questions. So please let me know in the comments of this video what are the answers to these questions. Again, a couple of them can be tricky ones. Okay, so please answer the questions in the comments of this video. Okay, and please do subscribe to the channel for more content on MBA preparation. You can also follow our WhatsApp channel, our Instagram page, and our Telegram group. So that's it for today's session. I hope you enjoyed this class. So please do like the video and all the best for NMAT, and especially to the ones who are attempting in October itself. Uh, uh, I wish you all the best. You have very few days left for the examination.